chastise them. They don't want you to rebuke them. They don't want you to deal with their sin. So they start telling you how good you are, how great you are. But Jesus said, I ain't nothing. How many hear me? There's none good but God. How many hear me? Then Jesus turned around and tell him, you know what the commandments say. Do not kill. Do not steal. Do not commit adultery. Don't bear false witness. Folk be bearing false witness all the time. He say, don't do that. Don't defraud one another. Honor your father and your mother. How many hear me? You know what he said? Jesus, all that I done kept since my youth. See, folk can be going through the motion. Am I right about and not be getting and not being delivered? Folk can be going through the motion. See, I don't want to come to the church and be around the power, but the power don't be in me. I don't want to come here and watch everybody else get delivered and I go home bound. How many hear me? I'm tired of going through the motion. I'm tired of going through the routine. I'm tired of going through the same old. Amen. I done read about Daniel and the lions den long enough. I done read about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego long enough. I don't want the story. I want the power. I want what they had to pull them up out of the fiery furnace. I want what they had to pull them out of the lions den. I want what they had, amen, to cause the walls of Jericho to come down. I don't want the story only. I want the power. Many hear me today. You got to understand. Watch this. He says, all this I have kept. I have observed from my youth. Jesus, you ain't saying nothing. I done lived this. But see, how many know that when you think you got it, that's really when you don't have it? How many hear me? You got to understand. What does the Bible say? The Bible teaches us, don't think of yourself more higher than you ought to think. How many hear me? You put yourself on a pedestal, baby, God will bring you back down. How many hear me? What did Nebuchadnezzar say? He was walking one day on top of the house, on top of the roof in the king's palace, talking about what he done did, not knowing it was God that turned over Israel into his hand so he can lead them into captivity. Am I right about it? Nebuchadnezzar thought he was something. He thought he had did all this by himself. But what did God do? He humbled him down. Am I right about it? See, folk playing with God, but they don't understand. It's a terrible thing to fall into the hands of an angry God. You don't want to get on God's bad side. How many hear me? You know why? Because God has more than one way to kill you. He'll have you sitting up in the hospital for weeks at a time with IVs all in your veins. How many hear me? You're looking up to heaven. Can't do nothing but ask the Lord, Lord, deliver my mind. Lord, deliver my heart. Lord,